there is now overseeing the captains that are currently in power, making all the shots and all the calls, striking them for not cleaning up somebody's vomit in the backseat of a fucking cruiser.
What?
Do you think that just because of that they would walk out?
Um, I, it's an interesting one because I would tend towards that. I don't think that is the issue I have with it. I'm not going to vote no because it's a risk of causing some understaffing. I'm actually kind of slightly on Michael's side on that.
Let
Um,
me
yeah.
ask something else though. Has anyone talked to Max about what it is he's actually trying to do, or is this all based on what
He
he's
is
written out?
my understanding, and this is once again a crackpot for me 4 a.m. conversation. So I could be missing some points here, but my understanding of the TLDR is that the PD is not on the right track currently, in part because of the general incompetence of the system. You know, maybe in part that's because of the captains, maybe in part that's just because of procedures, but there is some general incompetence going on within the system right now that is causing the PD to suffer, and this is his solution to break the log jam and fix that.
The way I'm seeing it is that we wouldn't have this conversation if PD didn't have an issue, and if Max himself wasn't this vocal about his opinions,
Right.
and people are to some degree afraid that there might be something behind it, we wouldn't be having this issue in the first place. Neither would PD be scrambling and making all of this fuss. If PD was running like a well-oiled machine, they would just shrug it off and it wouldn't have been an issue. The fact that there's already almost a 50-50 on this vote means that there is, to some degree, a problem that needs to be fixed. If this is the correct way, could be up for debate, but I think something needs to be done. I think something needs to be done right now, and then they can always be handed off. I don't think somebody else needs to take over down the line. I think this needs to end with the mayor's office after we're not in office. Hence my notes. That
So,
whoever is being
I was kind of asking about. So you're basically wanting a sunset clause on, or you think a sunset clause might be noteworthy on this legislation?
You have to define sunset clause for me.
Sorry, it's like it's not continuous.
Like,
Like
yeah,
this
it'll end
legislation
on this
expires
date
on
type
at
thing,
this
yeah.
date and this time.
Yes, I think what we have
Okay.
to do is that we are being put in this position of power until we find a commissioner that we can then work with, make guidelines, make sure everything is being run, and then when our term is over, they will be the ones that will run it going forward. They will know how it has to be run, who is in charge, what has to be done, and then down the line, if they need to select somebody else, they can take over that position. The overall idea, from what I gather, is that somebody needs to hold PD and the captains accountable. Because, like, again, as an example, and I've said this already, the captains are the one doing the strikes, but they're also the ones reviewing said strikes, meaning that obviously they would not see an issue. And that's a problem.
Inherently biased.
Yes. And if they're all agreeing to the way to run things, they don't see anything is wrong with it. Obviously, whatever last strike might fire somebody is not going to get reviewed by somebody who can see a problem with it. And from the sounds of it and from the people I've talked to, as much as they think the captains are doing a decent job, which I'm sure they are, hiring people, trying to promote people, training people, etc., there is definitely an issue. And there is a concern.
Okay. So how do you intend to fix that issue?
That's what we need to figure out. And I can't say because,
so
again,
maybe we should figure that out before we pass this.
I'm not saying that it has to be past this moment. We need to talk to Max. We need to hear out Max and what his idea is going forward and what his plans are. I think right now everyone is just assuming that this is going to be passed today.
Well, he does have a tendency to just push for a vote and make us go for it. So
it could happen.
I am planning for him to do that, but if we can talk about it and make adjustments and figure it out as we go, that's obviously fine with me.
Well, that's the thing. If he presents it at the meeting, and if he's presenting in a way that people agree, then I don't see an issue with pushing it through. Mm-hmm. If there's issues and things need to be changed, then obviously we're going to have to push it out a week. But again, nobody's talked to him because he does his usual stuff of dropping it and then just kind of
Mhm.
letting people cook. So
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm not even trying to assume his motive behind it. I know you talked about the power grab stuff. Don't get me wrong. It can definitely read like that, but I'm trying to put all that aside until I actually hear his perspective on it.
yeah,
I don't want to assume that. I'm just trying
I
to take it at face value.
I think what the captains are worried for is or worried about is that they one will not be the ultimate power when it comes to PD, which is obviously putting them under defense. Two, they're seeing that there's an issue, hence why they're scrambling and saying that everything is being worked on, there is being changes made, etc. Which might be true, but we can only see that to some degree, and we can only take their word for it. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I can't see anything. They haven't laid out any proof.
Mhm.
But at the same time, three, there is concerns. People are concerned. People are making complaints about the captains. As much as they might be making changes, there is still a worry and a disagreement. So somebody has to, in my opinion, oversee them, even if it's not the mayor's office, a commissioner, chief of staff, or not chief of staff, but chief of police.
I mean, yeah, I think. Look, I'll say it again. Someone's got to oversee them. They are not
Yep.
autonomous. They are
Mhm.
just another facet of this government. Who that is, maybe that's something we work out today. But yeah, I just don't know. That's
I will say, as an outsider looking in, having heard the like what was put forward because it was read to me,
Right.
it seems really dire when you first read it. It comes across completely like a paragraph, but if you actually read it again and again, you start to realize that they are the only issue with it is the oversight that comes directly from the mayor's office. However, they're not looking to be the be all and end all. They're looking to put someone in that position. And obviously, I would say that the amendment, and I gave this to Michael, I've given it to everyone that's asked me, is that
Mhm.
that necessarily the person who is the oversight works in conjunction with you all and is not directly under any of you.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat
So-
that last part again?
That the person, if you end up going down this route and you need that oversight person, the person does not work under any of you. He works in
Gotcha.
conjunction with you guys. Because right now
Right.
it reads like a paragraph, but if you take out if you literally take out the sentence of it being led by the mayor's office and you reread it without that, it's just literally putting someone in a position to oversight.
Mm.
Mhm.
And it's
Yeah.
working.
That's
It's working.
fair.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
I just
working
still
with
wonder.
And I
the
do want to
oversight
just
board.
say this
Yeah.
as somebody on the outside again.
Mhm.
2 months is not a long time realistically, but in the city, that is literally 40 plus days of
Mhm.
it not moving forward. And in the city, that's 40 plus days of 24-hour periods in which things have not moved forward. And that is a lot of time.
Mm.
I have a very pointed question for you, Jenny. You were obviously always of a very analytical mind in the past. You were what I always saw as my counterpart within the BCSO side of things.
Mhm.
Obviously, you are
No,
an
Jenny
outside
knows.
view,
That's the
but
thing.
do you think that if a
And she's saying basically what I'm
I'm just
saying,
gonna
but in a
call it
different way. And I think
fact-finding
the way she's saying it is
commission
probably
were to
makes more
form up
sense
in
because
some
that is what
way,
we want at the
do
end.
you
Is
think
that
you could still
it's not the mayor's office wants to take over. They want
go
to
into
appoint
PD,
somebody as a
look at their
commissioner
current
slash
systems, talk to
chief of
some
police.
people or everybody that you could talk to, and do you think you still have what it takes to correlate that data, put it together, and come to an independent opinion on if the PD has a problem, and if so, what those problems are?
Well, then likely, yeah.
I will tell you what my overall proposal was for
Heliotrope.
this.
Thank you so much for bringing this up.
I believe I may have said something similar, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
If we have the time, I don't know if we do. I would like to discuss this today. Obviously, this continuity plan is going to be the bulk of our meeting today. I don't think that's a shocker. but I would like to table a vote for a week, and I would like
Meg is
Uh,
just fucking
myself,
standing there.
Jenny, and Willie as basically former PD members of high command
I
from
don't know
your
how she's
respective
standing still, not
departments who
saying
were of
anything for this
analytical
long.
minds to go in there and in whatever way us three feel fit, in our own special way, look at their current systems, and if it's something they just need more time with, or if PD is truly a shit show. That would be my proposal for 3 experienced people from the past who are not currently employed by the PD to go in there and look at their systems and see if we're dealing with a vocal minority, or if there is a systemic issue that the captains are attempting to cover up.
Yeah, I'm not at all against that. I think that's a great choice of people. I think, once again, if we do find there to be these issues, I'm perfectly happy to revisit this. So yeah, maybe we can push for that.
Oh, the issue is that we need
Like
the
I said,
fucking
I
changes
just don't
now.
know if we have a week, and
Not
I don't know
No.
if we
No, it's a
have
big issue.
I don't know if we want to get something on the books now, just to make it clear, hey PD, you are not autonomous, and then work out the details later. I don't know. As like I said, there's a lot I'm still undecided on,
Mhm.
and I'm waiting for the shouting match in about 80 minutes here to occur, to see
Yeah.
what shakes out of that.
oh boy,
be
this
fun.
fucking meeting is soon too.
I'm still just frankly a no. After hearing that this is pretty much just trying to go over all of the captains' heads who have been the ones actually working there. I would far rather we either justify this more with what Walton's saying, or just at least fucking talk with the captains first before we rip everything out from under them.
Well, he did try to talk to them though.
Yeah, you said that, but it has been mere days since this was posed. If he is going to push for a vote before having those discussions, that is still an issue. If he was unable to talk with them, that's not his fault. Um, it can wait until he does.
No, like as in he did have a conversation with all 3 captains today, which turned into a shit show because of offhand comments, etc., etc. So
I think it would have been a much more productive conversation if it was
yeah.
before this was.
I
typed out.
agree. That's the thing. He should have talked with them about it before pushing for it.
was this given? Like, do they have access to this as PD?
They do not. My
No,
understanding.
I believe it was sent to them. But
My understanding is, yeah, it was sent to them, but I do not know the manner in which it was presented.
Because
I don't know if it was like a hey, let's talk about this, or a hey, Omega lol, welcome, say hello to your new daddy. Like I don't know like in what style he presented this.
no, yeah.
because just because it's on in the reports doesn't mean that it's final. Because like my half of the shit that we talked about last time was work in progress, but still somehow got brought up.
Mhm.
Like this could have been a work in progress thing. Doesn't mean that it's a final. So he could have, in theory, he could have had a conversation before in pushing it.
True.
So I don't know. I think we need to wait and we need to still hear Max. I don't think anything is done
yeah.
maliciously. I think this is done to try and push
Right.
PD
Can I
forward.
just say before we move past it, you bring up like this is a work in progress, and that it could have been. But have you heard what Siobhan was going around telling everyone?
Yeah, but Siobhan is also an
Siobhan
idiot
was
for doing
loudly
that.
telling everyone that this was going over our heads, and it was happening, was going straight to the feds, no matter what. And apparently has also been trying to shit talk Dakota to cops to get him out of his position. So many things. You can see why all of that together makes it more of an issue than just we could have talked about it, because we are actively being told we cannot talk about it.
I think I think that Siobhan is well experienced. At the end of the day, she is now the junior member of the council. I think if her political style is to try and get the nay votes ousted from the council, I think that is a valid political strategy. Personally, I think she definitely could have used a little more finesse when talking about it.
Oh yeah.
A lot of these things, but at the end of the day, I don't think what she did is like
Mhm.
unethical or anything
No,
like
I don't
that.
No, but I
disagree, but you
understand
can
why
see
it
how it
comes from
puts
a place
people
of
on the
concern.
defensive,
Yes.
right? Exactly.
Yes,
That's
I
why,
could
like,
I could
why would
definitely
the
see the
captains
perception
feel
of
like,
it all.
yeah,
Yes,
Yeah. The
why would the
optics of it
captains vote us
is
feel
rough.
like he'll talk
Yeah.
about it when we're hearing that?
it,
That's
it
what it
is.
means.
Yes,
Yeah,
I would
Nothing
agree.
against her on that.
And
It was all a
especially
perception.
with the way it's written, as you said, it is written like a power grab, regardless of how you want to word it. It does look like
Yeah.
that. So imagine hearing that, seeing that, all of that is all going to just mix up together to be like, hey, I really don't trust any of this, and I don't want to hear it out because I think I already know what it's going to be.
I
And
don't
that's what's
care
people
what
just on the
Pretty much,
what
defensive.
she
yeah.
says though.
This is also why I proposed the question earlier of even if this is the greatest thing of sliced bread, if the perception of this is a power grab, maybe 50% is exaggerated, but I do think that there are going to be a not insignificant number of officers who are either demoralized that this is passing, or who cut back on their hours and do the bare minimum. I'll say this a little bit in here in confidence. There has been talks of a police union forming up in regards to some of the perceived issues and rights that they want to fight within PD. I believe that revolves mostly around the DAP system.
Yep.
I and their version of strike. I was pretty clear in my recommendation on this. Their version of striking is bare minimum hours, only patrolling within their shift, and essentially working while striking, which I could agree with. But what I'm getting at is we could very easily be looking at that form of strike if the perception of this is a power grab, where people who are like to do 8-hour shifts instead do a 6-hour shift or a 4-hour shift, or they only stick within their allotted zone, or they say fuck the system, I am no longer doing anything major, and we've seen similar reactions like this in the past, right? DOJ did a decision back in the day that PD didn't like. We said, DOJ, spin the wheel, Omega Law. I'm never putting a court case up on the docket again. Spoiler alert, cases did go back up on the docket, but it took a month.
That was vicious, yes.
Yeah, there are legitimate short-term concerns about PD that I have if this passes, and if numbers are the primary issue that this is meant to solve, or that people are seeing an issue on the street it will get worse if this passes. How much worse? I don't know. How long that lasts? I don't know. But we will see a drop in activity if this legislation goes through. I don't think that means we should shy away from it, but I think we are smelling our own farts and calling it roses if we think that the PD is going to be happy that this passes and continues on business as normal.
Like,
it will
some
have
people might be,
to
but
the way the PD works, it would have to be very gently explained to them in a way that they understand how it's going to affect them completely, and how as Malt and I know, you have to treat them with kid gloves when you come to anything like this.
Meeting is in an hour.
I've said my piece. I mean, I completely agree with you, Simone. I think that something needs to be done. I think we need to hear out what is said at the council. I just don't know if this it should be the first answer. That's where I'm at.
I think
Yeah,
it's because of
same.
being but I think it's because of it's being looked at in a negative way. I think, like Jenny said, that it's a commissioner that will work in conjunction with the mayor's office and with the civil
It
oversight
doesn't say
board.
that right now.
It
needs
kind
to say
of
that.
does.
It doesn't say that, Michael. It says he works for the mayor's office.
Well, if the end goal is that for them to
Yeah.
continue without the mayor's office even being involved, isn't that kind of?
No, if they're above them and they're their job, that's where the power imbalance comes in.
Yeah.
They're working next to them, alongside them. That's where they're of equal value too. And it is a case of we feedback, you suggest, it's a mix. But if you put them under them, it looks like a power grab. Because again, even if you say, oh, as I said, it's the two-faced coin of whoever you put in there.
This does come off as a power grab, but
It
once
really
again,
does.
I don't think
Mhm.
I don't think they should have had complete power to be. It's it's someone, I don't know who yet, the mayor's office, the council, the civilian oversight board to a much lesser extent. It is someone taking back the power they should have had on day one of this fucking system. But yeah, we've made our bed. We have to lie in it, and we have to deal with the optics of what it looks like. But yeah, this PD should not have been completely autonomous from day one, and we are reaping what we sow.
Yep. Jesus. Yeah. Well, the TLDR is that I think something is needed. Is it to this
Yes.
extreme? Maybe not, but I'm not against what he has put down, and I will probably vote for it. Maybe some changes have to be made, which we can put forward at the meeting,
Yep.
but something definitely has to be changed and done. So
I agree. Something must be
Okay.
done.
All right.
All right. Well, I mean, thank you for letting me pick your brain on this, Deputy Mayor. Jenny, I mean, obviously, like I said, I
I'm
really
ready for
value
another
your
round.
input given
Fucking
your,
no.
Thank you for
your
letting me be here.
history and all this.
Yeah, thank you both.
Yeah, of course. This is why we're this is what we do.
Yeah.
on it,
Like-
on a personal level, Jenny, I do have one question for you that may
Mhm.
help me resolve this. If you're wanting to tread down memory lane,
Mhm.
you not have to answer this if you don't want to, especially in a group setting. But as you may recall, about 5 or 6 years ago now, Sam Bass
Rest in peace.
offered you the position of sheriff over Kyle
Mhm.
Pred.
Mhm.
You turned it down.
Yep.
You cited some reasons at the time.
Yep.
But now you have had 5 years to chew on it, and you are no longer in that sector.
Mhm.
My question to you is, if you could
See-
wind back the clock,
Is he
would
asking
you
her to be?
change your mind in that decision for that power grab, if you want to call it that? And why or why not?
And no, because at the time, the way that it was brought to me was, hey, we're going to oust Kyle Pratt and put you in charge. At the time, he ran a cult. I know because I was part of it. It would not have worked the way it wanted. It made me scapegoat for the situation to basically for the way to be able to oust Kyle Pratt without having to face any sort of repercussion other than you're fired. It would have led to people revolting because they would have seen it as because I was in the cult. They would have seen it as me trying to backstab and snake. And Bass was happy for me to go down that path while offering me no support to do so, other than we'll have your back. But naturally, he wasn't. He didn't. No, I would not go
Has
back.
it
And
been
no, I
5
would not.
years?
I
No,
would
it's been
do the
5
exact same choice
years in
again,
roleplay.
just based on the fact that the optics of it was poor and wasn't in the right. It wasn't for what the PD needed at that very moment. Do I think Kyle
Damn.
Price should have been removed? Yes. Do I think what he did was wrong? Yes. Did I enable him to some extent? Yes.
Wow, I didn't know any of that. That's
Thank you for your candor.
Yeah,
And
thank
the reason why I ask it is, well, not exactly the same parallel. I do see a similar vein, shall we say, in Jenny coming in as the sheriff from an outside force, in this case,
Mhm.
Sam Bass, and the legislation that's proposed here, which is why I wanted to hear your response.
It will be, I will put it this way, whoever is going to be that commissioner, you cannot, and I'll say this with all respect to the person, you cannot Axel Justice the PD. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
Whoever you are
that's
going
fair.
to put in as this commissioner is going to have to spend at least a week being a
Axel
nobody
Justice.
and understanding and learning everybody in that PD before they even try to do anything. Respect in that PD goes a long way.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Well, yeah, I thank you all for your time. Obviously, we got the meeting for an hour. With all due respect, I need to call some personal friends from back in the day, and I want to get their opinion on all this, and chew on it a little bit before the meeting and where we hear everything.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, thank you all for your time.
You
Appreciate
guys.
the invite.
Bye.
I'm surprised you've been quiet for this entire time.
I was
Aaron.
taking notes like you told me that it's my
Uh-huh.
job to do.
Uh-huh.
It's like actually 3 full pages of notes.
Mm.
What? Sorry, I'm actually using my 142 words per minute typing speed.
Well, I'm glad. means I can't be jealous because you're putting it to good use. I don't think
That's
she would
kinda
be
cool.
at the meeting for 4, 5, 6 hours or however
Playing
long the
Fire
meeting is
Emblem.
gonna be. Oh, this is great.
Someone's fucking brainwashed
I
her.
fucking love it. As much as it might
Including
be
me.
meeting Andy, this is
He's my
fucking
arch
great.
nemesis.
And it will have an effect. It has a big effect, and it's a roleplay effect. It's not an outside thing that is like, you know, affecting.
I would have probably died if it went around in another circle.
Does politics RP? It didn't. Back in the day, it wasn't this serious. Like, this is fucking great, and I fucking love it. It actually means something to do politics and talk about shit. It has an effect on the server more than it used to do. Back in the day, it would be, you know, Crane and OOC stuff that is affecting. Now it's us. Mafia Born, thank you so much. Now it's us making these decisions, making legislations, all of this shit. And it's having an effect on the server. It's not an OOC decision being made, it's an in-character decision being brought up, talked about, agreed on, and then put into effect. Would the council meeting be streamed? Yes. Well, that was something. Is your teacup overloaded yet, Aaron, or?
Overloaded? No, but it is filling. It is definitely filling. It kind of makes me want to stay clean as long as possible, so I can always, you
Sneed.
know.
Thank you so much for the brand new sub as well. I
I
appreciate
think there's
it.
some perks to like not having a criminal record, but I don't know. I feel like people will respect you more, and then you could like get all this like important information, you know. But like, I'm gonna get out there, and I'm probably gonna move some illegal items around in a stolen vehicle and shoot some locals instead. So I don't know if that's throwing
And
my life
thank you so
away
much
or
for the
making the most of it.
5 gifted as well. I appreciate it. Dean, my man. Thank you so much for the rate. I hope you had a good stream. We're here to have justice for
You called
Dean
me?
Cornwood. For Den.
Uh-huh. I don't even know who that is. Just, I don't even care. Fuck it.
And how?
We don't.
Thank
we
you so
don't
much
have
for
a
the 50
barrel.
bomb. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you.
Oh, just take it. I don't care. If someone's gonna let it sit there and not do anything with it, you might as well just take it. Yeah, do it.
We have to save
Bye.
Den. We're working on it. We're trying
Ooh.
to.
Ooh, it's Saturday. Payday? Michael?
Oh, I've been picking up my paychecks, not just.
Is it because I exposed you?
No, it's because I just wanted to try it once, and then I got 100 grand, and now I feel like I can just sit on that money.
I'm poor.
You're poor? Raspberry, thank you so much for the 5 as
Hey,
well.
Hey.
134,000 again. And Anonymous for the 5 as well. Crop top? Wait, are we at 110 or or 1100? Oh, we are. I am not gonna wear a crop top to the fucking meeting. I will wear it tomorrow or something. You must? Nah. Not at this meeting. Are you crazy? Yeah, I don't know. I will wear it. I will put it on, just not for the meeting. I think the outcome is the same. It's just the way that it's being gone about.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And that's why, like, as much as I think, yes, it looks like a takeover or whatever, it's, I think that,
Okay.
yeah.
But like, can I shoot the shit for a second? There's nothing saying that you can't have two intentions.
True. And I don't know what I don't know what his actual intentions are.
Exactly.
I'm just assuming.
You can assume the nice stuff, but it doesn't mean that there isn't an ulterior motive at some point. Not saying there is. Not saying there isn't.
That's why I think we also need to respectfully talk to Max.
Right, but even if there is an ulterior motive, why is he going to tell you guys?
Well, obviously he wouldn't tell us if he has like an ulterior
Ulterior?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
you
the
got
one.
it.
Ulterior motive?
That's the one.
You got it.
Yes, no, he wouldn't tell us that, but Ocean Stinger, thank you so much for the rat. What is that? Why?
He's cussing at you.
Well, he's the one that fucking just fucking. What's up?
If
Thank
he
you so
had
much
an
for banning
ulterior
yourself.
motive, what do you think it would be? You
I
think he
don't-
just wants to have control over PD?
No, that's the thing. I don't think he wants to have control over PD. I don't. As much as I think Max is a psycho, to some degree, I don't think he wants to run PD further into the ground. What is there? What benefit does he have from that?
Well, he's not running them into the ground. I mean, you can
It's
always
already in the
help
ground.
it. Yeah, but you can also help it, pick it up, get people who are loyal to you, and then you can do your other motive. If you're
So
the savior.
You think this is a step one of a bigger plan?
No, I'm saying it could be. I don't think it's. I don't really care what it is, but it could be. I just like playing with this because I think, you know, you can give someone the benefit of the doubt. Doesn't mean that that's the end of it.
Are people giving Max too much credit? Is that what's happening?
How come it's like, you know, 5 years have gone by and I still, my hair is still too thick to fit under hat,
That's a good point.
Michael?
Huh? You say something?
Why do none of our hair fits under hats?
I don't know. Just have less hair.
Just have less hair?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, just shave your hair off, Erin.
Yep.
No biggie.
Man, I have a fucking egghead. There's no way I'm gonna be bald.
I feel like Max has a tendency to just drop these fucking bombshells and then people are just kind of doom spiraling. I don't know, I guess it was a productive meeting. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna vote, but
Whoa. Reed's home.
Reed is home.
Is that Reed's car? Or is
No,
that
that's
McGregor's car?
McGregor.
They are
Motherfucker,
really
stop it.
Just like this, they're like actually the same but different.
He dresses like him when he commits crime.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Are they related?
Maybe.
Yeah, at this point, it might as well fucking be. Both fucking weirdos. This meeting is gonna be fucking horrible, and it's not gonna be just 4 hours. I think it's gonna be like one of those.
I think it's gonna be like, yeah, 7 hours of you guys arguing back and forth, talking about things in circles, revisiting the same issues over and over again.
I forgot my moonshine. Well, the thing is, I'm gonna be sitting on the fucking sideline and be like, hey, because I feel like Max is gonna be yelling at the captains, and the captains are gonna be yelling at Max.
Yes.
Honestly,
Let's
that
start off the
sounds-
night strong with drink driving. Great.
That sounds interesting.
This doesn't even fucking hit at all.
Probably shit.
It's supposed to be like Sherry's special blend.
No, it's a good ship. Sherry's.
Sherry gave me Xanax last night.
Where did she get that from?
I don't know, man. I ran into the house in my PJs and I yelled at her for yelling through the windows while I was sleeping and woke me up. And she's like, here, take some fucking Xanax. Take 3 and you'll never wake up again. And I said, okay. Which is actually kind of fucked up when you think about it.
Yeah.
Also, I was really concerned or confused a little bit about, like, I agreed with Malton's take where, like, you know, Jenny and him go in the PD and, like, try to get some actual facts and info and stuff, right? But then
She
he
actually took fucking
included
notes.
Willie Glory.
The issue with this is like I don't disagree with having and going in and looking. Is there actually an issue with PD? Is that again we're just pushing things in front of us instead of actually making changes?
Doing something about it.
Yes.
As quick as possible. But I think that's why he said he doesn't know if he has a week, whether it be like a day or so, right? But like, is a day or so even enough to really judge it? I don't know. I see kind of like both sides, but also it's not my fucking business. But also, the only reason I brought the Willie Glory thing is one, isn't he a judge? But also, he literally called me the
No.
R word before. So I'm like, that doesn't seem very professional. And he reminded me he called me the R word. I really didn't like that. That was fucked
Wait,
up. 5 years ago isn't that long of a time.
Wait, who called you the R word?
Willie.
Who the fuck is Willie?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Willie Glory. The third person that he suggested.
Is that Carl?
A judge. He's a judge now, apparently.
I don't think he's a judge.
I think he is, because I ran into him recently, and he told me he's a judge, and then reminded me that he called me the R word.
He might be a lawyer. I don't think he's a judge.
No,
Big
pretty sure he
pussy.
told me he's a judge, Jenny.
Okay. Why?
I don't know.
If
A
somebody-
court case
somebody
over
gives,
a traffic infraction
Ruth or whatever her name is,
that I
any
said that
shit
he
for not
caused,
showing
which is
up,
like
and if she's
fair, and then
saying
you know,
that it's
5 years
convenient
later,
for
I
not
was
her
like, you know what,
to
I
show
don't
up,
remember
I
this,
will
but I'll own
ban
up
you.
to it anyways, and just
Do
be like,
not
yeah,
bring
you know, I'm
real
a
life
better
shit
person now if I blamed you for a car accident we got in and we went in a
into
court
people
case.
not
But apparently
being
during that
able
court
to
case, he called me
roleplay.
the fucking R word. I do
That's
not
not cool.
think any. Yeah, it really is not cool. I don't think anyone in any kind of position of power should
Never be using that. No.
It's not a base take. It's just how it should be. If you have any reason that you can't get on to roleplay, do not use that against people in roleplay. That is bullshit. You can't say that if somebody is like just for whatever reason can't show up to something, you can't use that against them. It's fucking awful. It's the most awful feeling in the world. Why is KJ calling me? Yo,
No idea.
Yo, what's good? I'm just calling and wish you a happy day. Hope you have a great day, all right? And don't forget to call me, all right?
all right. I'll call you. I will. My day is
No, I'm
great.
joking.
My day, KJ, is amazing. It's only gonna get better from here.
Oh, what's happening? What's going on? You need help?
Council meeting. It's great. I'm looking forward
Oh,
to it.
council meeting?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, fuck the council.
I'm on the council, motherfucker. Fuck you, buddy.
All right, you have a great day, all right?
I'll try.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Can you make the based on the fact that she's a captain? No. Is it because she doesn't want to show up? Then maybe. But if she has whatever real life reason to not show up, just because you're in a position of power, you don't have to be forced to get on and roleplay. That is
Who's that?
bullshit. Did he stop
They
in the middle of
stopped
the
and they're
intersection?
watching. Yeah, they're like watching. Are they reversing?
He's turning around. Am I blapping? Is he gonna rob me?
I don't know, man. Who is it?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
That is not sus at all.
What the fuck?
The two other captains will be in the meeting. I think so, yeah.
They didn't even bother to say hi after they made a U-turn.
That is the most sus shit in the world. Just 180 and I'm like, nah. Exactly. If you gave him shit for having to take care of his dad or worrying about his dad and he couldn't be around for 2 weeks, then fuck you. Your personal things, your friends and family, your personal health is goes above anything roleplay related. Roleplay can wait. Oh, this meeting is gonna be fucking awful.
Yes, it is.
I'll get the tea after, man. If that's 7 hours, I hope I don't get caught today. This is making me more nervous. I'm gonna get caught.
Why? Yeah, exactly. She has 3 kids to take care of. Which is as good as any reason to, you know, do her real life duty as a mother.
Why are you more nervous?
I just don't want to get caught yet. I don't want a fucking record, but
Michael, can I borrow your car real quick?
Which one?
The Gauntlet. I need to get to the city and back faster than that rental can get me there.
Ooh, I'm fine with it. You have to ask Jenny for permission.
You're good.
Thank you.
Alright, let me move
It
this.
was like a weird car that like slow rolled, stopped, made a U-turn, looked around, stopped in front of the neighbor's house.
Oh, it doesn't look weird anymore.
No, it looks
Yeah,
fine
it was
now.
really odd. Hey, last night
Thank
there
you,
was
I'll be
this
right
weird
back.
person creeping around your house, Michael.
There's a weird person
Huh?
creeping around our house?
Yeah, Stanley and them saw this guy that was like in your yard creeping, and then he went into our yard and creeped, and then Stanley was out front, and he saw Stanley, and then I guess he booked it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
What
he
they look
described
like?
him as wearing blue, had a bandana around his face, and I forgot what hair color. Oh, he was wearing a hat and shit, so it's hard to say. Yeah.
Hmm.
I just had to sit in like almost 3 hours
With
worth of
such low
meetings.
playtime,
Crazy.
though, is it fair to have
The
those people
they gave
in
me like
power?
political tea and shit.
I
know,
think she
it was
does
kinda
more
good.
stuff
I'm kind of tempted to
out
stay
of the
clean for
city
a little bit
than
longer
maybe
so I
in the
can keep
city.
getting this
We don't know.
political
We
tea.
can't comment on. I can't say what she does out of the city.
Man, there's so much tea, Stanley. Am I allowed to tell Stanley the tea?
What?
Am I allowed to give Stanley the tea? I don't know what that means.
Jenny?
I think I'm not allowed to give you the tea.
Why are you asking me? This is your business.
I don't know. It's gonna be out there anyways at some point, but I think for now, just wait until after the meeting.
I'm not allowed to tell you the tea yet. Yet. Yeah, I'm under... Ooh, how many circuit boards for the tea?
That's a
Okay,
you
we'll talk
question
about
again.
this later, okay?
Wait, what was the question?
Okay, bye. I'll tell Stanley later, and I'll tell him after the meeting, and he'll think that I told him, and I bypassed the secret, and I'll still get circuit boards in exchange for it. See?
All right.
have to pee. How do you guys do this? How do you guys have all these meetings without peeing? I'm gonna piss.
Oh,
We
I just
kinda-
zone.
We just pee.
Yeah, I just zone out
pee.
and then don't say anything, and then I act like I don't pee.
Exactly like that. She's perfected it.
Yeah.
Never mind. She's got it. Never mind.
It's like when you drive in the hills and you see somebody squatting, and you're like, "What are they
Yeah.
doing?" And then you're like, "Nope, I did not need to know that."
Well, I can figure that one out, and I didn't need to know. Question: if hypothetically that shit did go through with what Malton was suggested, would you be mad if I actually did it?
It's a temporary position, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, if you want to do it, I don't mind.
Okay.
You good? You didn't like that answer?
No, for some reason I had a very weird reaction to it.
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be it's either gonna be really anticlimactic or really interesting.
Is Juna not coming to this meeting? I don't know. Is she officially after? I think maybe. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, she was fired. I guess she's not showing up in that case. Oh fuck! Oh no, this is gonna be a long meeting. I can already feel it. So, what is your opinion, Aaron, from a outside perspective, without any previous PD ties?
Honestly, I don't think that I'm.
Qualified? What?
I
You're
don't
not
think it's fair
qualified?
for me to give an opinion on it because I don't have like as much background as everyone else.
It's not about background though. Like,
That's
what is
why
your
we kind of
opinion?
wanna
Like,
hear it, yeah.
what is your opinion on the PD right now? What issues are you seeing? What are you hearing?
I mean, I'm kind of like very outside of any kind of bubble that has to do with PD.
Okay, well, how do you feel about like when you're doing calls and things? Do you feel the response is reasonable? Do you feel the way that you're treated is reasonable? Do you feel like right now PD feels like it's good to go against, and you feel like they're there and it's a good effort, or like how are you feeling about that?
I don't. Okay. I will say more times than not, they don't show up to anything that I'm doing, which is fine for me. Like, I'm okay with it. Fuck it. But also, if I'm looking at it from a non-felonious standpoint, that could really suck for, say, someone like a sanitation worker or someone that is like,
Oh, she did have an opinion.
you
She
know,
did bring
they're
this up.
not like a fucking criminal or they're not like really doing anything wrong and they're just, you know, getting fucked without any kind of, you know, protection from the police. I can see like if I was like a
No,
you know,
I know,
just
I
a
know.
casual
Based as
civilian
agreeing,
minding
I
my
know,
own
I
fucking
know.
business
I'm
and then like there was no PD there to like look out for you, I'd probably feel like,
okay.
well, what am I
Stop.
supposed to do? Like I don't really have a gun.
I swear to
like,
God.
there's no way to protect myself, and like the PD is supposed to be there to like, you know, at least help me out. I should feel that I'm safe, and I don't know if I feel like that. But in terms of calls and shit, it's hard for me to say too because like I think I'm way more lenient in terms of like how I feel about a PD. I don't care as much, you know. Like 7 cops show up, 12 cops show up. I'm like, fuck it, this is really intense. Like, let's get the fuck out of here, right?
Oh,
Whereas
Erin is a
in
bad
terms of,
person
like-
to talk to because she's like me.
I don't know. In terms of like sitting there thinking about like what the response should be, I'm not sitting
Yeah.
there like trying to like analyze what exactly it should be.
She's
you know?
all for
like when we went
PD
to
response,
the laundromat,
PD
right? And we had a PD
consequences
response,
for
it
my
was,
actions, that kind
I
of
don't know,
shit.
the first time like 6, 7 cops all doubled up. I do think maybe some things were a little questionable for sure in like both of my situations, I guess. Well, I mean, I guess not, right? Like the second chase I was in for the hot run, the thing that I guess like Denzel got fired for happened in my chase. Like he pit me into a civilian, and then the civilian was like down, so he had to like go take care of him.
Oh, so you're the reason he got fired.
No, it wasn't Denzel, it was Cornwood.
Oh, Cornwood pitted you into a civilian.
Into a civilian. But to be fair, that civilian was in a fucking random ass spot on the side of the road, and I was even like, what? Where the fuck did that guy come from? Like, truly, I had no fucking. I was like, did he get ejected? Did he get paid? And everyone was like, no, he actually got pit.
That wasn't
Pit me
Cornwood.
into that guy. So, like,
Might have
I
been
don't know. It's like weird. It's.
I think
I
it
don't
was
know.
then, yeah.
But
Whatever.
I mean, and then in like the first laundromat chase, we were pit off of like a. You know, when you're going up to Palomino, it kind of like takes a lift up to the gas station, so there's like a ledge. We got pit off of that ledge, and then Nico was in a secondary car, and then that car got like T-boned out of the way. So I think that like in terms of the safety of, if we're thinking about like the safety of people, I think that maybe there could be a little bit better of training, but other than that, I don't care as much, right? Like, I'm not gonna give a fuck if it happens. I'm just gonna deal with it. I know, like, actually Julio, I think was like, I think Julio was like tased underneath a vehicle and then like downed, and I don't know, it was like a whole fucking mess. I actually really know. I don't know. I think overall, sure, there could be more cops on the streets if I'm looking at it from an unbiased opinion. And I think that there probably could be better training, but I think that's always going to be a thing. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel really weird about having like an opinion about something that I just am not heavily involved in it. Right?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's more so like it's interesting because obviously you're not involved in it, you are removed from it, but like how you fundamentally regard the police as a whole. And like, would this be something that actually changed how you feel about it, etc.? Because like, you know, the people are importing on this.
DJ Doyle.
Yeah, I think like I'm more of a person that takes it as it comes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
So
fair.
as a criminal, clean criminal, right, who hasn't been arrested yet, if they respond that way, then that's up to them to respond. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, it's unjustified for the PD to respond to me robbing something, and they should only respond. I don't.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I don't have a fucking opinion. I don't have an opinion.
Yeah.
If they are like, you know, like, I don't know, more aggressive, you know, and maybe don't care much about like hurting the people in the cars or whatever, right? Like, what am I? I'm a fucking criminal robbing some shit. Like, I would figure that if that was against like their training or like something that they cared about, then it would be handled within PD, and I would hope that they respect themselves enough within PD to hold themselves to a higher standard. And
feel they
hope
do?
that I don't know, because I'm not familiar with anyone in PD.
Okay.
Like, I feel like Barrick does, right? Because
Yeah.
you can tell the type of person that Barrick is. Yeah. So it just depends. That's my opinion. I feel like some cops definitely do. I think I'm just more of like I have a more chilled out viewpoint of it. Should ask Sis. He's the one that's actually been like taking it from him, so he's been my cannon fodder. So you should actually ask him because he's had to deal with the PD more than I have. this season.
I think Barrick would be a good person to have in that position. I don't think he would be under the mayor's office either, per se.
You need to go like take 10 minutes before you go to this meeting and just stretch and shit.
Yeah.
Your brain already sounds like mush.
Because it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like 9 hours about. It's all been about this fucking thing.
Yeah, it does. But
So,
hey, you've spoken to nearly everyone apart from Max himself, and that's a positive. Communication's there. They know they can talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dakota's gonna be ready to go. He went for a nap like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, no, he called me and then he took a nap after, I think.
Yeah, he was texting me. Well, no, he texted me about 20 minutes after that.
Oh, fuck.
Sent me a gif of a house on fire.
Raven, thank you so much for the 5 months. Yeah, I don't know. It's I think it's gonna be interesting. I think it really kind of falls down or falls on what Max really wants. Because at the end of the day, I feel like people shouldn't be worried, but they will always be, because the mayor's office should not do dumb shit, but it can. And that's why I feel like if we remove the mayor's office from having any sort of say after this term is over, there shouldn't be a concern that somebody will do some dumb shit after. Then they can just continue doing it.
I can be the pessimist if you want me to be.
Sure.
Used to say there's going to be another turn if he has all the power.
What, you think Max?
I'm not saying he would, but I'm just, I'm just doing my thing. I actually don't. I'm just fucking with you for the most part, but it's a thought and it's there and you can have it.
You know what? Let's just have Max be our mayor forever.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
We're turning into China anyways, it's fine.
Who's turning the city into China?
Max.
Mikhail? Okay. Because all of those legislations are written by Max.
Yeah. One
I thought
child.
it was Juno that wanted it.
No. I think.
Okay, I just like to point you over to the Drip Act.
Yeah. So.
And
Just because I'm telling people to
Vehicle
wear,
Act?
but just because I'm telling people to wear their uniforms while they work, and we have a credit system taken into account when you work hard or not, and we are only allowing one child.
Yeah.
Yes, that's all Max's thing.
Okay, but I'd like to also point you to the part in the MDT where it says unanimous voting, which means none of you voted no. Which means ipso facto it's your fault.
Oh, I will say, from like understanding or listening in on the conversation, I do think having people at the highest power going unchecked is definitely a problem. I do from what I'm hearing, and it seems like Malton agrees, right? So both sides kind of agree that 3 people having the ultimate say without the ability to be checked by anyone is problematic. Especially if they're the ones that are giving the initial punishments in the first place, because you could say one thing and just punish, like say this is a problem, you're in trouble for it, and then when it gets there, you're the one that is obviously going to agree with your initial decision. I do agree that is.
Yeah, you can run
the
again.
reason why in every PD there's an independent third party that comes in to look at how a PD handled something. Like, it's there for a reason.
I mean, I think even in like the
Basic
mayor's
shit,
office,
yeah.
I'm going to assume that there's someone that also checks, like, you and Max in some way, right? Someone that has to like kind of agree with things before they get passed on, not just have you guys have the ultimate say, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the consequence is impeachment if you guys
Yes,
fuck up. So.
exactly. That's the thing, though. Like, even if if Max or the mayor becomes the ultimate power, the thing is that he can be pushed off that position by impeachment, whereas we didn't have any say in the people that have been elected as the highest power in PD. So we can't really take that position from them.
Yeah, I agreed with you guys on that for sure, just from an outside party.